GameStop stock is rising again after last night's earnings report. What's behind these numbers? Let's break it down with our MarketBeat analysts Thomas Hughes and Chris Markoch. Guys, great to have you both back on the channel today. Let's start off with what's happening with GameStop stock price today.
Yeah, right. The stock is moving up. It's about 5.5% right now. I think it was up about 7% a little while ago. On this earnings report, it's showing some support at a fairly critical level on the charts, and it could be setting up for a bigger move.
Yeah, Chris, let's give a little context. We've been following GameStop really since 2020. Where does the price today compare to that all-time high this stock hit a few years ago?
So, I mean, if you're looking at the all-time high back in, I think it was 2021, it was all the way up to around $80 a share. So the price at around $28 this morning is still well below that all-time high. But GameStop's had a good year. It's up 50% in 2024, so it's been having a strong year.
This is a stock we've really been following on this channel for a while, that this really the whole stock market's been following since 2020. So let's break down a little bit about, did we think we'd still be covering this stock in 2024 the way we are today?
I really didn't think so. I mean, you can go back and look at the history of my articles. I've not been very fond of the company, not because it's a bad company per se, but just because it's losing money and it's in contraction, it's burning its cash, it's eating itself to death. There's just not a lot of reasons to expect its value to go up.
Yeah, I kind of suspected we might still be talking about it. It's one of these stocks that's become you're going to get out of the report whatever you want to get out of the report. If you're bullish on the company, there's reasons why you're going to still be bullish on the company after the report. And if you're bearish on the company, there's nothing that the report gave you that would change your opinion one way or the other.
Yeah, let's dive into the report a little bit. What came out of the earnings report this week?
Well, so the good news is that it produced a surprising profit. All right, it hasn't been able to produce much profits for a while, so profit is good and profit is helping to support the stock price. It also increased its cash balance by 500%, so it's pretty well capitalized right now, and that's part of why the bulls are still so encouraged, because they believe this cash pile will lead to some business transformation that we really haven't seen any glimmers of yet.
One of the problems in the report is that revenue is declining in every category of the business. So hardware's down, software's down, their collectibles business is down. I think that's something that should be more concerning if you're a retail investor that's actually thinking about getting involved in the stock. Is the company's business is in the gaming sector, which is exploding at this time, and GameStop's losing money in that sector.
Right, and kind of in between those two opinions, they made this surprising profit. The business is contracting. The profit is only because of the cash balance. It's because of interest income. The operating results are negative. It burned money in its operations, and the business is contracting. There's really no expectations for that to change. So right now, the company's kind of in a holding pattern.
So given all those details, why do you think the stock price is still rising this morning?
People want to believe. And the 4.5 billion in cash is a big number. People think that even if the stock were to, go out of business or whatever, there's still going to be some value there. And there's also hope for the turnaround, but there's no evidence of it yet. And right now, what we're looking at is just a persistent, continual burning of cash. Eventually, that cash balance will get whittled down. And then where will the market be left?
The retail investors love the CEO. They believe that there's a plan. Everybody seems to have an opinion about what that plan might be, but the company itself hasn't really outlined a plan, and that's what makes me very dubious. I mean, you don't even have an earnings call after your report. That doesn't give me a lot of confidence as an investor that there's a bigger plan going forward.
It tells me that there's no plan. I mean, if they had a plan, hey, we've got a plan. They should be beating the drum. We have a plan,
Right.
But there's no plan.
So that leads me to wonder, how long will we be talking about GameStop? What do you think will take to kind of get those hopeful people to finally get out of this stock? Or is this something that we're going to be talking about for years to come yet?
I think that we could be talking about this stock for years to come yet. One of the takeaways from this report is that with the interest income and producing profits, they really have entered a holding pattern. So technically speaking, they can sustain operations indefinitely while the business slowly turns into nothing. They'll be left over with some money, but there'll be no business left. And then what do?
So GameStop stock is still rising, which means people are buying it. Who are the people buying the stock right now?
I mean, I think for the most part, it's retail investors, but there is a detail that's got me scratching my head, and that's the institutional activity. The institutions have been buying this stock on balance all year. The holdings are still pretty low. They don't own more than 50%. It's like 25 or 30%, I think, not very much. But they're buying on balance, and that provides a tailwind for the market. You can see it in the stock price. And I'm just wondering what it is that they're buying into. Are they speculating on this cash balance or a turnaround? Are they just buying some shares so they can have them lend them out for being shorted? It's a question I want to have answered.
Do you feel that the movement in this stock is a true investment in this company, or is it just an investment in a hope to make some money off of a short squeeze again?
GameStop's certainly a trade more than it is an investment, and you can look at that in the options chain. I mean, there's just a ton of option contracts out on the stock. This is an option trader's dream right now.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure, though, that it's a short play because the short interest on the stock is really down.
Something else I'm concerned about is the valuation. And
Yeah.
my math could be wrong. Reported balance sheet shareholder equity and the number of shares outstanding puts the book value at like $11. So it's more than 50% lower than where it's trading right now. To me, that means sooner or later there will be a detail that comes out that just causes the bottom to fall right out of the market.
This stock certainly has a strong following. So I
It does.
know there's got to be some viewers out there that strongly disagree with this point. What do you say to the believers on GameStop?
You could be right. I could be wrong. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trade. It's to me, it's not a long-term investment, but there's probably money to be made.
Guys, thank you so much for the time today and breaking down this stock that, again, we're still talking about 4 years later and we'll still be talking about for a few years to come. Thank you for watching MarketBeat. We hope that you can check out some of our other videos on other content, including some past videos we've done on GameStop stock as well. Have a great day, everyone, and as always, happy investing.